in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Ablesys webinar. Ron here, and we'll go over the charts, look at all the signals from today and recently. Definitely be glad to help, and you have that question box in front of you there. You can ask any questions. We'll take a look at some different markets. We'll look at stocks, futures, long-term, short-term. We'll mix it up a little bit here and look at what the Ablesys signals are. The software works the same whether you trade stocks or futures or Forex, whether you trade short-term or long-term. It's meaningless to the indicator. It doesn't care what you trade or what time frames you're trading. The software just, the algorithm just wants to see price movement. The more movement, the more trends, obviously the better anybody will do. But what's helpful with Abletrend is this is called a guidance chart. The whole key with Abletrend is we have two time frames combined into one chart, as well as two different Abletrend algorithms combined into one chart. So all four things have to come together before we make a trade. And that's what makes it low risk. That's what keeps us out of trouble. Really, it's the no trade zones that are so well liked because it keeps us out of trouble. Now, it's not going to be 100% perfect because I'll guarantee you they'll be losing trades. There's no perfect system. There's risk in trading. There's going to be some losses, so you can count on that. Not everybody's cut out for that mentally, and you're not going to nail every trade perfect and get in at the very top, out in at the bottom and out at the top, and it's just not possible. However, the software has no emotion, and that's why it's so accurate and such a good guide to have us trade a lot less when the markets are choppy, because it's able to recognize that with the no trade zones, and at least it'll cut down on the trading, because the more you trade in a choppy market, the more you lose. Anybody. So when the markets get choppy, you'll get a lot of no trade zones. There'll be some losses for sure, but at least you get a lot more no trade zones. Certainly compared to any other system or indicator, it will be a dramatic difference when you do that, especially if you're new to getting a trial. Compared to what you normally would use, compared to the Abletrend signals, you can put it side by side, and you'll see the difference very clearly. And that's for you to see and for you to decide whatever you think. We're glad to help. You're going to get great support here. I'll guarantee you that. I'll guarantee you there'll be some losers because there's no perfect system, so I don't want to mislead anyone. I'll also guarantee you get great support, and you'll like what you see. So let's jump in. This is Lennar, the home building stock daily, weekly chart. So we'll go with a little longer time frame because not everybody can or wants to sit in front of the computer all day, because if you're a day trader, that's what you have to do. Nobody knows when the big moves are going to come. So obviously, to be successful at it, you've got to put the time in, just like anything else, to be successful. So we had a really nice buy signal there. That's a triple confirmation buy signal where you've got a blue bar. Blue means up. You've got a blue dot underneath it. Well, anything blue means up, anything red means down, and anything green just means sideways. But the red bar and the blue bar and the blue daily dot and the blue weekly dot, wow, you got triple confirmation. Everything is blue. Daily, weekly dots, and that day's price bar, which is the blue bar, the blue dot. So if you had Abletrend then, boy, you did really well, especially if you're an option trader, which is very popular with Abletrend. You'd have got in at about 60, and we'd be stopped out right there. Because when the prices go under the blue dot, we don't like that, and it goes to the next previous lower level of blue dots, which would be right here, kind of like a step down. That's where we'd have been stopped out. But at 68, if you're getting in at 60, that's a great trade. Okay. Obvious short trade or buying puts right here. Everything is red. Triple confirmation. Red bar, red daily dot, red weekly dot. Triple confirmation. Down it went until we got out over here on the blue bar with the blue dot. There's two exit rules. Either we get an opposite colored bar, and blue and red would be opposites, obviously. So when we're in a downtrend and we're short or buying puts, if the bar turns to blue, well, we're going to get out. Or if it goes above the red dot and it goes to the previous higher red dot, we would be out, whichever comes first. Same way on the uptrend, it was going up. it went down under the blue dot and it went to the previous lower level or the previous step down of dots. So we got stopped out there. But really nice gain. So we'd be shorting it here or buying puts at 65, out here at 61. It's a $4 winner. And there's your perfect no trade zone. These blue dots really do tell us where the hidden support in the market is. That's telling us. That's what the blue dots are telling us. It's telling you there's a wall of support, or there's like a roadblock there that's going to block the prices from going lower. The red dots means there's an invisible resistance above the price that's going to block the prices from going higher. So what happens is the prices generally get stuck in the middle. The software is telling us over here on March 13th, don't touch this. It's too risky. We only want low risk trades. We have clients who collectively trade millions of dollars. It's got to be obviously accurate and it's going to be very low risk, or you just won't get an able trend signal. So this is a clear cut no trade zone. There's red dots above and there's blue dots below. The software is telling us here it's going to go sideways. And for the next 3 weeks, that's exactly what it did. It went sideways. And every time it would hit these blue dots below, it just like hit a roadblock. It couldn't get any lower. It's just amazing how accurate that is, as you can clearly see right here. And we started those blue dots 2 days before that even happened. So really accurate information. And it's really the dots that are the key to everything. It's the dots. That's the key to everything. It's the same colors, same dots, same rules. It doesn't matter if we're looking at a 1 minute, 3 minute S&P chart, if we're looking at a NASDAQ chart, a gold chart, if we're looking at a 30 minute, 90 minute crude oil chart. It's always the same way we interpret every able trend signal and every able trend chart. So if you can read this chart, you can read any of them. They'll all be the same. Really nice short signal here after another no trade zone there. The prices are hitting the bottom bands. Red bars touching the bottom red line, no trade. That's where we would take profit. So we would definitely not start a trade when the red bar is touching the red line, or if the blue bar is touching the upper blue line. That's just a no trade. And then we would have shorted it over here a couple of weeks ago at 58, because we have a lot of option traders who use the daily, weekly charts. And you're at 51 today, a couple of weeks later. That's a lot of money in just a few weeks, simply using the able trend charts. Real choppy day today on the ES or day trading charts. It's been a great month overall. Actually, it's been a great year overall. But today, really ugly, choppy day. And that's why I want to show this 1 minute, 3 minute E-mini S&P chart, because it was such a choppy day. And this is where we really want to test out the signal on a day when nobody won on a day like today. I mean, 99 out of 100 traders, when you see price action like this, I don't care what system you're using, everybody got crushed today. Fortunately, with AbleTrend, half the trades or half the day, we weren't even trading because of all the no trade zones. But it was definitely a very choppy, tough day to make any money, and we did not on a day like today. Like I said, when everybody else is getting killed, we definitely had a losing day, but we certainly didn't get killed. And that's the key with these guidance charts with the no trade zones. So over here, we would have been trading right about, well, we have a downtrend in here, as you could see. I'm just going to go over this quick because I got a lot more to get to, but I definitely want to show you this chart. I'm purposely bringing this chart up because it was such a choppy, ugly day, and I don't cherry pick. I want to show I actually cherry picked this one. Yeah, I want to show a bad day because that's the fair way to do it. We're about real life trading here, not paper trading or anything fake. Okay, no trade here. We're obviously touching the upper bands. So this whole area right in here, geez, that's about 2 hours almost. No trades, nothing. Here would be a trade. That's a triple confirmation trade, a sell signal. We lost 2 points because right away it turned around and it went to blue. Another no trade zone here, another no trade zone there. Prices hitting the bottom bands, no trades there. This is a trade right in here. That's a triple confirmation trade. Sell signal, red bar, red dot, red 1 minute, red 3 minute, everything. Out over here, gave back 2 points right there. A point and a half. I'm going to call it 2 points because I like to stretch the losses, not exaggerate the gains like everybody else does. Perfect no trade zone here. No trade there. You just when you see red and blue together, it just means stay away. Don't do anything. Here's a short trade. That was about a break even because you can see here, red bar, red dot, but we'd be out over here. Now, it hits the bottom bands a couple places here. Take profit. When the prices hit the bottom bands or just about touch them, that's close enough. Take some profit on the trades. I always say that. Andrew's asking if there was any wisdom you could share to identify the beginning of a choppy day to know when to stay away. Andrew, if I knew that answer, we'd never have a lose. It would be a perfect system. I wish I knew that answer because then it's almost like saying, do you have a magic crystal ball into the future to know it's going to be choppy to stay away? No, I wish I did, but I don't. That's why we have the no trade zones. Again, there's 6.5 hours in the trading day. Half the day we didn't even trade because of this guidance chart. Let me tell you, if you didn't have an Able Trend guidance chart today, you got completely blown away. I mean, it would have been a disaster. Times it by like whatever you lost on it with Able Trend, it would have been times probably 3 or 4 times as bad because of the guidance charts. I wish there was, but obviously not. But that's why we have these no trade zones to keep us out of trouble. No trade here, but hitting the bottom band. Again, another no trade zone. It was like 5, 6 no trade zones today. I mean, it was great because it just kept us on the sidelines. And believe me, it's better to do nothing and not to trade than to push it and trade and just for the sake of trading and then of course losing. Hitting the upper bands here, but that's a trade right there, and we lost a point because of the red dot right there. Another no trade zone right there, and it's basically the end of the day right here because technically we'd be in here and out there, which is a no trade zone. But again, hits the bottom bands, take some profit. So where we lost a few points on the day for sure, would have been a disaster without a guidance chart because probably 50-60% of the day, or maybe even a little more, we just weren't even in the market. We basically sat on the sidelines, which is a good thing you can do that on a day like today because it wasn't fun. Now look at a 10-minute chart and it was smooth as silk. I mean, it was one trade and on a 10-minute chart, and it was a 12-point winner for the day. However, that's a longer time frame just to kind of get a view of what's going on overall. Same thing with the 3-minute, 9-minute chart today. It was actually about a break even. We had one nice little trade right in here, which hit the bottom bands and dropped 6 points. So that was a 6-point winner there. Cleaned up some of the small losses. No trade zone here, 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 here. All these no trade zones just kept us out of trouble today, which was nice because again it would have really got crushed. Trading other indicators and just if you're trading all day today, that would have been ugly. Steve asks, is there a way to do a guidance chart in eSignal? No, Steve, there isn't. That's why we always recommend using Able Trend and using eSignal data feed, which is excellent data feed. Gold, as it turned out, of course, I wish I would have known this beforehand, but was the big winner today. Gold's usually very choppy, very fast, actually, not choppy, but very fast. Anybody up early, because gold moves early in the morning, anywhere along here was just an absolutely perfect triple confirmation sweet spot. These are actual sweet spots. Notice we didn't have any sweet spots today on the ES. What's a sweet spot? A sweet spot is a pullback where the price goes back up and touches the small red dot, or of course the small blue dot. In this case, the small red dot, and the bar goes from green to red. That's a perfect textbook sweet spot right there. Another one there. There, it was just a bunch of sweet spots, and the software was just beautiful in this gold market here today because it kept us short all morning long. So from shorting it at 13.10 to finally getting stopped out right there, it never once broke above the red dots. Look how many times it would hit the red dot, bounce off of it, and go back down again. We never had a blue bar, until 5 hours after the signal, but we were stopped out here because it went to the previous upper red dot. However, that was a 17-point winner, which is $1,700 just trading one contract. 10 contracts is 17,000 for 5 hours worth of work. But I always keep it conservative, do everything very low key and very conservative. One contract, this one would have been great. Generally speaking, the very fast moving market, gold, got to be careful with that one. But today it was just, software nailed it perfect. ES was choppy as heck, as I said. It wasn't a fun day today, ES. Overall, it's been very good, but today was just real choppy. Just didn't, was after the big gap down, it just basically kind of went sideways, and then it just made those choppy, fast up and down days. I hate days like today. It's going to happen. It's part of the business, but it's not the fun part. That's why when you get a move like this, let's just assume this was the ES. When you get one of these big moves, and we do get plenty of those in ES, stay in the trade. If you have the red dots, everything's, it's telling you to stay short. The mistake a lot of people make, and believe me, I understand, we all do, is they get out too soon. They got 2 or 3 points, and they go, oh, I better get out before I give it back. Well, the thing is, you got to nail those 6, 5, 6, 10-point winners that Abletrend throws off quite often, because it cleans up a day like today where, cleans up a day like today where it was it was really choppy, and you had some losing trades. So you got to try and nail those big trends and stay in it. As tough as it is, you got to try and stay. Obviously, if you're trading multiple contracts, it's easy. Just take one off if you're happy with a couple of points. You can easily sell one contract and let the other one run. But get a lot of big trends, that the software keeps us in. 3, 4, 5, sometimes 10-point winners. So the point is just try and have some patience and have the discipline to follow the rules and stay in the trades, because the number one rule, or one of the number one rules, if you have red dots above and you're short, stay in the trade. You're safe. You've got triple confirmation to the downside. Nail a big one is my point. Grab that big day, because it cleans up a lot of small losses, and there are going to be a lot of small losses. It's just impossible not to. I wish, but it's impossible not to. And then another short signal right over here. And down it kept going, and every time it would hit the red dots, it would bounce off of it and go lower. There really was hidden resistance there that did block the price from going higher until we were stopped out there. But that was another 5 points to the downside. So it's 22 points, which is $2,200, in the gold market today, just trading one contract. Now, thing is, you got to put up a couple different charts and trade whichever one you get the low risk Abletrend signals. And today you just there were signals on the ES, but it's just a real choppy day. There's just nothing you can do about that. It was just one of those ugly days. Fortunately, we've had so many good days leading up to this. This whole year really, that I was like, okay, it's going to happen. So we'll see tomorrow. We're certainly going to be watching it closely, that's for sure, tick by tick. Here's another sweet spot on the short, on the buy side. It turns out it was only a break-even trade, but that's what you're looking for. Pullbacks back down to the blue dot. Don't chase after the trades, is my point. Pullbacks back down to the blue dot. The bars go from green to blue. That's a really low-risk trade, because even if you lose, you only have 1 point at risk. Even less than that, you actually about a half a point at risk. That's because I'll call it 1 point. It was actually 3/4 of a point. But you only have 1 point at risk. That's the best way, especially if you're getting chopped up or if it's just one of those ugly days. Again, the guidance chart kept us out of trading, almost 3/4 of the day today, and that's why I purposely like the show Abletrend. That's where you get the value in Abletrend, because I assure you, anything other than Abletrend, unless you were just dumb lucky or something, it was it would have been a triple disaster without a guidance chart today to at least keep us on the sidelines most of the day. But it was definitely a losing day. So I don't sugarcoat anything. If anything, I do the opposite. Like I said, that's the fair way to do it. So hang in there, guys and girls. A day like today, it's not fun, but tomorrow's there'll definitely be winning trades coming. That I can't tell you. I said there'll be losing trades, and I can also guarantee that there will be winning trades too. You're welcome, Andrew. Okay, it looks like everybody got to everybody's question. So thanks for being here, everyone. Hope I was helpful. Feel free to call, email anytime. You know, I'll be here to help every day. Have a good night.